Gemini. Shadow of Doubt reading. Replace doubt with reasonable earnest is the general message. And I will be looking out almost all of these. Why was that not? That's not facing the right direction. Or maybe it was, and I just missed. No, it's not. With air signs and like Virgo, I'm getting like this need for change, this need for like some kind of shift, some kind of turnaround, like some kind of pivot. Let's see what the shadow is. Okay, fragmentation. So we've got what the hell's going on? I think like between Virgo and air signs, been feeling extra sensitive because like I can't seem to get anything to just feel right on my body right now. And I didn't have this problem like a little bit earlier before I started doing this. But I'm just gonna push through it. It's not like it takes that long. Just get it over with. Yeah, there's a lot of change with air. Like change in direction. It's like I'm getting like change in wind direction. Are y'all following your intuition? Or maybe somebody around you isn't. You might need to move away from them so that you can get to more stable ground. As we have fragmentation. I don't know if I showed this card already, but we have fragmentation. This is like bits and pieces of things brought together. Maybe you just can't see it. Maybe it's not that you're not following your intuition, you just can't see what's going on. Because like everything is coming in fragments. Like I heard like what is the fucking phrase? Because now it won't come out of my mouth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, but it's like you're not getting that because we've got the I can't even speak it. The High Priestess in reverse. There's a crescent moon on here, and there's also a crescent moon on the fragmentation card. And let me cover this up. Crescent moon on the Nine of Wands. And like with the High Priestess in reverse, and then the Seven of Swords, and the fact that the swords are behind their back, there is some kind of withholding of information. Either you're choosing not to see it, which I'm not quite getting that. It's just, or like somebody is holding something back. Like, some of this information is being held back for some reason or another. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like you don't have all the information, and that's the reason for the fragmentation. But, like, either way, there's some kind of transformation happening. Like, even without all of the information that you may need, or all of whatever it is that you may need, you're still able to make the change. You don't need to see everything to know what's coming. Because you're not looking with those eyes. And that's what I'm getting. So we have the Nine of Wands in the upright, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. What I'm getting from that with the Four of Wands on the bottom and the Chariot is behind that, is that you're not doing this alone. It's not something you necessarily have to do alone. Just be mindful of the connections that you keep around you, because be mindful of how you communicate with people and people communicate with you. Because there are ways to speak things, to tell lies without telling lies, like lying by omission, or saying one thing and meaning another. And you have to trust your intuition and your ability to read people's intentions. Yeah, because the Anger and Chains is at the bottom of the deck. That shit can get frustrating. And Triumph of Lies at the top. So yeah, it's really giving there's some kind of fucking information that's not quite coming forward. And stuff like that can be irritating. Now, it can be interesting to learn wordplay and to, figure out riddles and things like that. But at the same time, when people are doing it with the intention of misleading, or I'm also getting brainwashing, making you think that they said one thing, it just feels more like gaslighting. Making you think that they said one thing when they didn't, and then you're led to question yourself and the information, the way that you're intaking information and how you're thinking about things. So yeah, be very careful about mind games and things being said without being said. You have to learn to trust yourself in order to navigate people like that. Know your own boundaries and stand firm in that, and exercise the consequences as needed, because that will be imperative to your transformation going forward. And it'll help you balance out this fire energy too, because fire has been very, very prominent lately. And right now I see it with air, and that can be a good combination or a bad combination depending on your perspective on it. So yeah, I would say just make sure you have your boundaries in place. Make sure you have your boundaries in place. Know what you will and won't tolerate. That way you're not being left with pieces, especially pieces of yourself. Make sure that you pull all your pieces together, and make sure, if you have to write down, okay, well, I will only tolerate this, this, and this from a person or whatever, and these are the consequences if they overstep my boundaries. If you have to write that shit down, write that shit down. But make sure that you are firm in your boundaries when dealing with other energies, other people, whatever it may be. Because you don't want to be the one tricking yourself. Anyway, I hope that helps.